Hello everyone, and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Tats, and I'm surprised this movie has never been done for BodyBags, at least as far as I know. And I just thought I would go ahead and do it. We're doing a random week this week, so I thought I would go ahead and do this really fun, amazing film from 1985. I remember going to see this in the theater, and I remember seeing the advertisements and just going nuts because, seeing in the advertisement, you saw Cujo, you saw Christine, there was a clip from the Dead Zone and stuff like this, and I was just going bonkers. And, I went, I was ready to beg my parents to go see it in the theater, but they wanted to see it as well. So yeah, didn't really have to beg. So we all went and saw it and had a great time. The movie I'm talking about is a Stephen King anthology, and it is called Cat Eye. Again, I cannot believe that this movie hasn't been done on the channel, at least not to my knowledge. And the movie is directed by Louis Teague, who you remember directed a great little horror comedy called Alligator. Uh, prior, before this, he directed another fun Stephen King movie called Cujo. Well, I don't know if that movie's fun, but it's a genuinely good scary film. But yeah, he directed this movie, and Stephen King wrote the screenplay. And at the time, King was doing business with Dino DeLaurentiis' company, and Martha J. Schumacher, who is basically Martha DeLaurentiis. She was Dino's wife. They got together and they produced a series of films. This was one of them. Silver Bullet was another one. Maximum Overdrive. I want to say I think there was something else. I could be wrong, but I think there was something else. I'm sure there is. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, but we went to go see this movie in the theater, and basically what it is, it's a horror anthology. As you can see, you got young Drew Barrymore here, just just after Firestarter and E.T. So she was coming up, and you have the three stories and one connecting the one connecting thread through all these stories of this cat here. And in the first one, in the first story, which is Quitters Incorporated, which two of the stories were taken from King's book Night Shift, and the third one was basically just an original idea that King made for the movie. But let's see here. In the first movie, or in the first story, what did they call him? I don't remember. I don't remember they gave the cat a name. I know in the second story, The Ledge, they call him Sebastian. And then in the third story, when Drew Barrymore gets, they call him General. And, so yeah, this cat is going along, doing his, what he's trying to do is he's trying to find Drew Barrymore character. And she's telling him that, you have to keep looking. You have to find me. You have to save me. It's coming for me. You have to get to me before he gets there. And at the very beginning of the movie, you see the cat being chased by Cujo, and both the cat and Cujo almost get run over by Christine, which was that fun little homage at the beginning of the film. But the cat is ultimately picked up and is taken to a place called Quitters Incorporated. And then we meet the main character of the first story, played by James Woods. Um, well, God, I can't remember the character's name, but he goes in, and the idea is he's a chronic smoker, and I know how hard it is to quit smoking. Trust me, I had to go through it, um, but yeah, he wants to quit smoking, and he decides he wants to do it for his wife and his daughter. His daughter's also played by Drew Barrymore in the film, and so he goes in, and then he finds out that basically this quit smoking clinic is actually run by essentially the mafia, and the man Donati, played by Alan King, who gives a great fun. He's kind of like sadistic, but he's also funny at the same time, kind of performance. But he's amazing. He is so magnetic to watch, and James Woods, you really do feel for his character. And he's scared, but then he realizes, like, he basically, once he's in there, he's in this trap. As soon as you step foot in there, they got their claws into you, and you can't get away from them. And then they tell him that like he's going to be monitored. They're going to keep an eye on him. They're going to make sure if he smokes, then he's going to be met with horrible punishments and repercussions. And so like, for he says at one point, like, he demonstrates at first by showing James Woods' character this room where they put the cat in there, and the cat is being, the paws of the cat are being shocked by electric shocks and everything. And, of course, it's horrible. It's horrible to watch violence on a cat like this and stuff. And then he says, then he explains to James Woods' character, he's like, yeah, we catch you smoking. It's like, next time it's not going to be the cat in the room, it's going to be your wife in the room. And it was like, also, if we, on like a second offense, we have, we know where your daughter goes to school and all this kind of stuff. You don't want to know what we could do to your daughter and everything. And then he's like, on the third offense, I think they said, he's like, we have a very disturbed individual who works for us, and we can send him out to rape your wife, and just all these horrible things. It's like, then, and he's like, if you just get to where you can't give up the smokes, then we give up, and they basically they put you out of your misery. So James Woods, so now he's got to try to keep from smoking and everything else, and he's like, and he's going through all the stuff. He's going through withdrawals. He's having a really hard time of it. Somebody, and like I said, it's somebody who I quit smoking years back, and I know how hard it is. And that was the thing when I watched this as a kid, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I can see it's probably kind of hard, but come on. But like when years later, when I was a chain smoker myself, and I had to give up the cigarettes and stuff like that, it's like, oh man, I start like that story really hit. It was more resonant with me than it used to be. So, but anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that, so I don't want to give everything away. But then the cat moves into the second story, which is The Ledge, which is, another story from Night Shift. You have this character of, oh God, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with the names here. Mr. Norris, played by Robert Hayes, who, let's see, you'll remember, he's right there, you'll remember. Everybody's always going to remember him as Ted Stryker from Airplane and Airplane 2. And then you got Kenneth McMillan, who's coming back from Salem's Lot. He's in this story as well. And it turns out that the story is about Robert Hayes' character is having an affair with Kenneth McMillan's character's wife. And so he gets caught by the by the guys who work for Kenneth McMillan. Turns out the main guy who works for him is Mike Starr. Mike Starr, is a character actor. He's been in so many movies, and he's been in Steven Seagal action movies, Steven Seagal movies, Kevin Smith movie, Jersey Girls. I mean, this guy's been in so many movies. He's the producer in Ed Wood. He's been in so much. He's been acting for decades. Great character actor. So he gets so he brings Mr. Norris up to, he brings Mr. Norris up to the apartment, and it's like way, way, way. I mean, we're talking one hell of a high rise. And so the character, Kenneth McMillan's character, I'm sorry, I just can't remember the name right now, but he, makes a bargain with him. He tells, Robert Hayes' character, look, I'll tell you what, if you can, scale the length of the building, walking along the ledge, and you don't fall and nothing happens, you don't cheat, none of that kind of stuff. And, if you make it back, then, you get to have my wife, I'll give you money, you get your car and all this kind of stuff. If you don't accept my wager, then you're going to go to jail. And, it's like, we're going to have these trumped up charges against you that you're doing drugs and all this kind of stuff. And basically, Robert Hayes' character is backed into a corner. He has nowhere to go, and the cat is there, is just kind of just observing everything that's going on. But so so Robert Hayes, he decides to go ahead and take the dare. So he's trying to scale the ledge of the building and stuff. But like all kinds of honestly, that has to be. I remember watching the theater. It was amazing, like how tense and just on the edge of your seat that segment was. It was incredibly just nerve-wracking and all this stuff. And seeing it on the big screen, man, that was frightening. That was actually really, really scary to see it. But but yeah, he's got to do this to earn his freedom. But at the same time, even though Kenneth McMillan's character is saying, I never welch on a bet, it's like, all this kind of stuff. But, but he's trying to do all these things to try to make Robert Hayes' character fall to his death, and I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, I don't want to give anything away. And then we get to the third story, which unfortunately they don't show it here. But yeah, but anyway, the cat character finally finds Drew Barrymore's character, and Drew Barrymore, of course, she loves the cat. She wants to keep it, and have it as a pet and everything else. But her mother, who's played by Candy Clark, she doesn't like the idea of the cat. She doesn't want the cat around. She hates the cat, just wants it to be gone, and all this kind of stuff. But begrudgingly, she decides to go ahead and let her keep the cat. But what ends up happening is that at night, when Drew Barrymore's character goes to sleep, there's a hole in her wall that opens up. This little kind of troll-like creature comes out and is trying to basically is trying to kill Drew Barrymore's character, by trying to suck out all of her breath so that she suffocates to death, you know, and so things are happening and stuff like this, and things seem like they're going wrong. And Candy Clark's character think it's the cat is the problem, but ultimately it comes down to the monster was created by Carlo Rambaldi, who also did E.T. and stuff, did amazing work. The creature was really fun. The little troll creature was really fun, and just the ending climax where the cat is trying to save Drew Barrymore's character from the creature in the wall. That was a lot of fun to watch. And overall, this movie, it's a very fun anthology. Same as any anthology, yeah, maybe like one or two of the stories are not going to be as up to par as maybe one of the other stories, but overall, it's a genuinely good anthology, and I can't recommend this movie enough. It was so much fun, and this is a movie I've watched dozens of times over the decades. Like I say, I was very, very lucky to see this on the big screen, and then to see it on VHS, and then through DVD, and then Blu-ray. Now I know there's a 4K, but you gotta pay a fortune to import it. But I don't know, maybe just I'm kind of just biding my time, and hopefully maybe we'll get a stateside release that'll be a lot easier and more affordable to obtain. But for right now, just oh yeah. But I definitely recommend this movie. It's a lot of fun. Stephen King wrote the screenplay. Unfortunately, there's no cameo by him or anything like that. But yeah, I think you're gonna have a blast with this movie. So I would definitely say, yeah, if you're a Stephen King fan, if you're an animal lover, things like that, give Cat's Eye a try. I think you'll really, really get a kick out of this. This is a really fun horror anthology to watch, and you'll have a good time with it. So that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I am the Saturday reviewer, and I'm really, really honored to be amongst this group. I say it all the time, but I always feel like it bears repeating. And, I appreciate being here, and I appreciate them having me. So that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later.